have something like an your computer to work. It's like something like you know about Tesla now, right? So stuff like that. Like, so currently I'm with Christmas smartphones and on those like. So thank you very much.
Amazing. That's why it does contribution, right?
The lesson now, now, like not to get now.
Are you taking attendance of us right now? Yes,
So currently I'm working on autonomous vehicle, so I'm still in the
we're gonna have a first class soon.
Exactly. So
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Let's start from here.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Second question.
Alright, let's have one more person there also.
Please,
While this is going on, right? Feel free to share your excitement on Twitter, take pictures, just share what's going on currently right now on Twitter. The hashtag is Techies Meetup, and they said I should not allow it, but let me see, there's something for highest engagement.
Yes, so
the earlier you start, better for you. They said I should not allow, I did not tell you anything, no. Alright, I didn't say anything, no. But feel free, right? Feel free, share excitement on Twitter, LinkedIn, you can take a picture, you could just snap something, post on Twitter, LinkedIn, and use the hashtag Techies Meetup. Alright, let's do that. Do we have someone there that would like to introduce himself or herself before we go ahead? Anyone else? Shala, do we have someone there? Alright, let's start with this amazing young man that's
everyone
coming
else
right
said
now.
no, he's the only one that indicated.
Alright, let's start for him, please. It's not easy.
Good day, everyone. I am Abubakar Yao, a full available as a student at the University of Technology.
Okay, I've seen 2,000 staff on put me now.
So I just finished my master training at the Kano National Limited. I'm currently learning to be a robotic process automation engineer using laptops for platforms.
Amazing. Alright.
That's amazing.
So we have an aspiring RPA developer in the house. Oh, that's amazing.
So do we not have anybody from cybersecurity? Okay, no one person. But who else is from cybersecurity? Yeah, let us represent our industry. Cybersecurity. We already have some people from blockchain. Okay, who else from blockchain here? Data analysis or data, anything data at all.
Do we have the data guys here?
Okay, we have data.
Okay, we have data guys. Amazing.
So once again,
You have
are
Power
shaming
Platform
me.
developers,
No,
Power App
cyber-
developers, RPA developers. Do we have them here? Oh, sadly, we don't.
DevOps engineers.
Oh. Okay, after today, you guys come to the Power Platform
Have
space,
you?
right? Do we have a deal? We have a session.
I hope everyone here is in the
Power
Microsoft
Platform.
community, the student community, like the Microsoft student community. No, WhatsApp groups and social media handles. For each of your universities, well, for each university, we all have a student community. For most of the universities in Nigeria, yes, we do. So who are those that are here that are in the community? Sorry. Most people are not interested. Okay. After this event, please meet any of the student ambassadors. Those are people you see standing up and walking about it, so you can join the community for your university. Please make sure you do that. Go ahead.
All right, amazing. All right, once again, I want every one of you to clap for yourselves. Just clap for yourselves, right? You're all welcome once again to Techies Meetup. All right, just show the excitement. Techies Meetup. I'm supposed to hear yay. So we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again, right? I understand that they used to say tech people are boring people. Let's prove them wrong. Let's prove them wrong.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say it again. You are all welcome. Please don't feel mad. I need to see the excitement. All right. So you are all welcome to Techies Meetup 2023. I don't understand what happened. All right. We're gonna have a great time, right? We have amazing speakers for us, and Jafet is also going to be working with us. Sorry, I forgot to introduce. We also have our amazing moderator here also is working with us also.
He's a cloud advocate.
Cloud advocate.
A former student ambassador turned cloud advocate. Thank you for being here. And once again, for those watching on YouTube, welcome everyone. We are glad to have you guys with us. I promise you guys have an amazing time. Even if you're not here in person, it's been super amazing.
All right, another person that we have that's going to be working with us in moderating this event is our very own Oyiboke. All right, can we He's over there, he's trying to set up and everything. He's a senior cloud advocate at Microsoft. Let's clap for him.
Not easy.
All right, for a lot of us here, we know him on Twitter, LinkedIn. He's always the one posting. How many of us are following Oyiboke on TikTok? Please, if you want to have funny videos, if you want to have funny videos, if you just want to laugh, don't follow him on TikTok. I saw one.
I can't even begin to. Like, how did he? We need to understand how that.
All right, but he's doing a great job, right? For learning content, as far as Power Platform data is concerned, feel free to follow him on LinkedIn, follow him on Twitter, and also on TikTok. All right. Let's start for him once again. Doing amazing work. All right. Okay. So we're doing something now. We're gonna do something now, just to drive engagement on social media, right? So we're gonna do something now. We all have neighbors, right? So you're gonna look for a partner, a neighbor, all right? Can we all find your neighbor? I don't know if you're doing anything, but please get a neighbor, take a picture with your neighbor, and post on Twitter, LinkedIn with these hashtags. Please let's pay attention, please. We're going to be monitoring the tweet, like I said. All right. So take a picture with your neighbor. You can stand up, feel free, go around, meet with people, right? Take a picture with someone using the hashtag, right? Techies Meetup, hashtag Student Summit. Then kindly tag Jaflet1 on Twitter, tag the Oyiboke, tag MLSA Nigeria, and tag Microsoft Learn and Microsoft NG. Then if you're a member of a local MLSA campus, club, or community, you can tag your school community. For example, MLSA EXU, MLSA FUTA, MLSA Uniloring. All right? So
MLSA Unilag.
MLSA Unilag, because they will just have to be. All right, so please, let's stand up, please. Stand up and let's do that quickly. Stand up, get someone, take a picture. All right, let's do that, please. Let's stand up. Leave your seat, please. You can also use this opportunity to network with people. Let's do that, please. Let's do that, please.
Yemi cannot share slide if he's coming to church. Sometimes it's my work system. No, he's 10 minutes. It's 11:10 that is coming up. Is it 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
It's actually supposed to be 11 o'clock to 11. That's what I've seen.
So I'm going to be writing.
Usually it's like 11 o'clock to 11:10. So it's not even there. We can't consider.
Yes, it's already in the studio. That's not the agenda for this. This is different from what these guys are explaining.
That's what they have. That's what is here. So this is what you are going to. This one.
Funke,
let's say Mr.
The login details.
If you can't, like, can you give me the phone?
Yes. Let me give you the login details. Just one second. I gave it to Hamid already.
Why is it? Exactly. I already told her not to do it.
Let's
Send
try
it to God. I'm not giving up. Remember, it's
like yes.
Yes, it's one going on.
Let's try
So we're going to introduce Mr. Yemi now. Sorry, just one second. Let me get you the login.
forward it to her WhatsApp.
She has it. Let her read it. Okay, she has it. Please just read it now.
Just
Let's call them back.
let's call them back.
Call them back.
Okay, all right. Hello. All right, so we are done now. Can we return back to our seat? That was amazing. Can you clap for yourselves, please? Hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, am I being heard? That's so great. We are gonna have, okay, hold on. I forgot to mention, right? So we're gonna have another section where you get to meet with people, what do you do, stuff like that. We're gonna have another session for that, right? So can we kindly return back to our seats now? We want to have our first speaker come up now. Hello, am I being heard?
Let's get back to our seat.
Thanks, my God. Hello, can everyone hear me now? Okay, can we kindly return back to our seats now? That was amazing. Kindly clap for yourselves, right? It shows that we are doing this together. Can we clap for ourselves? Okay, so we're gonna have our first speaker come up right now, all right, for our first session, and Shola is gonna. Hello, please I want to ensure that we are back together now, right? Yes. Are we together? Yes. I'm not hearing from people over there. Are we together? Yes. Okay, now this we are coming up now. Are we together? Yes. Okay, I think we are together now. All right, that's amazing. All right, so Shola, please go ahead to introduce our speaker.
Okay, so this person we have coming up, as you can see his name here, his name is Mr. Orimolade Oluwamuyemi Alexander. I hope I got that correctly. Okay, he's also known as Yemi, and he is the manager of marketing and communications at Microsoft's ADC, which is the Microsoft Africa Development Center. And he's responsible for developing and executing the overall marketing and communication strategy for the engineering team at Microsoft. Is that easy? Still going on. He is a vital member of the Premier Center of Engineering for Microsoft in Africa, with over 17 years of hands-on experience. 17 years of hands-on experience in marketing and communications. Yemi has a clear vision of impacting organizational business growth by planning, designing, and executing communication strategies. Prior to joining the engineering team, Yemi was the marketing and communications coordinator for Microsoft Philanthropies in the Middle East Africa and Philanthropies lead for Nigeria. Yemi has been with Microsoft for 9 years and has served, volunteered, and successfully executed several projects within the organization. And as an addition, outside of work, he's an avid Arsenal fan, soccer pundit, Nigerian music lover, chess fanatic, and is happily married. Welcome, sir, Mr. Yemi. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, hi everyone. I don't normally do this. I see many people. I'm very shy. All right. So how many minutes do I have? 5 or 10 minutes? 5 minutes. I always start this by saying welcome to Microsoft. And the next thing I would always say is I look forward to your day one. And what does that mean? It means you're here today at Microsoft, but I would be super excited when I see you start your first day as a Microsoft. All right. No be prayer. It is about what you desire and what you set your eyes for to achieve. Okay? So as it has been said, Yemi is my name. I currently oversee marketing and communications for
Microsoft EDC, which is the African Development Center. And people say, what the heck is that? Right? So the ADC is simply the engineering arm of Microsoft. What does that mean? It means the guys who build the solutions, the technologies that we, non-engineering people, use. Right? They are the ones who like relatively coding all those products that you and I would use at the end of the day. Right? And here is the Premier Center. We have 2 sites in Africa, one in Lagos, Nigeria, and there is another one in Nairobi, Kenya. And the question of what we should be saying here is why bring an engineering center to Africa? We all know by 2040, 2050, the whole world will be looking at Africa as the next bus stop for talent across all boards. Now, if you don't know, if you've not been told, or you are still imagining, you are in the right space. Because the truth be told, come in the years to come, everybody will be looking for it. So we took a first mover advantage. If this is where the future of talent will be, why don't you go there? That is what Microsoft is doing. Currently, on both sides, we have close to about 700 engineers across Lagos and Kenya. But in the Lagos facility, we have about 150 engineers, hoping to ramp that up to about 500 in the next 2-3 years. Now, if you look at it, 500, we have 150, that means there's a 350 gap. Who is going to fill it? No. Right? That 350 will go fill up. No. So it's about you first understanding that there is that opportunity and you driving with that vision to achieve it. All right. There are 3 charters of ADC in Nigeria. First and foremost is to build products and services by Africa for Africa. What does that mean? Most often than not, the products that we all use, it is top down. It's been done in the US and we use it here without having inputs from Africans. Right? So for us at the ADC, it's getting, and how do you get inputs from Africa? By the time you bring in more Africans, they will say, in my area, this will work this way. Because we are a diverse and inclusive organization, we try as much as possible to get inputs from everywhere. And that is why the conversation around building products by Africans now be for Africa. Right? It's not just a cliche, it is something that we are intentional about. 2, we try, that's the second pillar, is that we upskill and we are building a talent pipeline for us as the ADC and the tech ecosystem. Somebody will ask me, hey guys, why are you building for the tech ecosystem? Think about what happened to, they said some banks in December, an entire IT team just, right? Just, right? But think about it. If you are building a talent pipeline for us, for the ADC, and for the tech ecosystem, what you are simply doing is that you are building a pool of talent across board. So if, for example, X leaves, you've already built some other people, or you've already trained some people on the ground. So if A goes, A B will replace that person. And how do we do this? We do this through our different ecosystem engagement, right? Be it our ADC Lens series, be it our user group series, be it everything and anything, even our dev learnathons. The idea is to build that talent pipeline. And the third, obviously, is to handhold the next big idea coming out of here. We all know that Africa, there's a lot of innovation happening. But at the ADC, it is something that we are passionate about. To see where that big idea is coming from, we handhold those people or handhold that particular individual with this idea, and we take it up to the next level by supporting it with Microsoft technologies and, of course, potentially VC funding and all that. So that is who we are at the ADC. But more importantly, the truth of the matter is there is somewhere with the skill set that you are learning or you are trying to equip yourself with, there is somewhere like this that you can come and get your hands dirty with the skills. So with that, I want to say welcome to Microsoft again. I know that this
Okay, keep your hands together. Come on, that was amazing, right? Right? Okay, all right. So we're gonna move forward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your session. We really learned a lot. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's put our hands together again, once again. Okay, Michael, do you have anything to say?
That was really, really insightful. I hope you guys learned from what you said. Was it really? Can you tell me like one thing that you said that you stood out to?
He was able to tell us how we can use them to develop our African communities, build some things around us because they are really bringing things from the part of the country, like the part of the Europe country, but we can also bring things in Africa instead of shipping products. So, yeah,
Amazing. All right, let's start for her.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to be going into our next section. And our next section, we're going to be hearing from Erika Imama. She's going to be talking about preparing for opportunities at Microsoft. Now, a lot of us here will know, let's not cap for ourselves, right? We all dream someday to work in either Microsoft, Google, Frank, right? Right? Now, this is a session where you should pay keen attention to because there are a lot of tips and tricks you're going to be getting on how to prepare for opportunities at Microsoft. All right. So she's gonna introduce. She's gonna read our speakers right to us right now, and then we're gonna have a session now. All right. So please let's pay keen attention. Please go ahead.
Our speaker for today, giving us this session, preparing for opportunities at Microsoft. Her name is Erika Imama, and she is a senior recruiter with the Global Talent Acquisition Engineering team at Microsoft, meaning senior, meaning that she gets people that work at Microsoft. So if you want to work at Microsoft, please listen to this session. We have our stand. Yes.
Okay, she's gonna be joining us virtually.
Oh, you can see her. She's so pretty. Look at her over here.
Really? Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. Good to meet all of you. I'm so glad seeing all the faces back at ADC. And unfortunately, I'm not able to join you live, but I'm glad for the opportunity to be here. Just quick introduction about myself. My name is Erica. I've been in Microsoft for about a year and a half. I'm what you call a recruiter through and through. I love my work, what I do. And what I love most about my work is that I can place talents like yourself into roles and watch them thrive, watch them do amazing things, build amazing technologies and brand breaking stuff. It's good to meet all of you. I've seen you've come from so many places. Thank you for having time to meet with our team today. I'm going to be sharing with you what it is like to land a job within Microsoft. I will do my best to highlight what the behind the scenes, what we do as recruitment, what we expect from you, and how we can make it, how we can make your interviewing a success. Now, my first choice would be interviewing at Microsoft, but I think these tips are applicable wherever you wanna interview for. Of course, I would prefer Microsoft naturally. If you have any questions at the end of the presentation, please drop them with the moderator. I'll do my best to answer a few before I jump up and jump off, and we can always see more questions. We can answer maybe FAQs later on if I'm not able to get to your questions. Again, thank you so much for having me. I've listened to some of the great people we have on site and some of the amazing things you hope to build. And I wish you, great success. ADC is here for you to leverage on. Now, one of the questions as a recruiter I get asked all the time is, Erica, why Microsoft? I've had opportunities to work in so many companies. I worked with the like of IBM. I worked with Intel. I worked with Cadbury, or you call them Mondelez. And why Microsoft? Why is it a place? Why did you move to Microsoft? And one of the first things that popped into my mind is that work-life balance in Microsoft is amazing. The flexibility is amazing. I'm a mother of two, and with Microsoft, I'm able to do my work, and manage my home easily. Diversity and inclusion is great. I am able to bring my unique self to work. And those are some of the reasons I love Microsoft. And the fact that I get to work with the brightest of minds, innovators, the best people in the industry, and watch them grow within their career, place those talents that are able to make change. And those are one of the reasons I love to work in Microsoft. Opportunities are a lot within Microsoft. I had the opportunity to work with the ADC team. I still work with the ADC team, and my career is growing within Microsoft within a year and a half, and I'm working across Europe, inclusive with the ADC team. So we have loads of opportunities for you, whether you want to work locally, you want to expand your career. Microsoft is the exact place you want to be right now and grow your career. That's personal. Those are the personal reasons why I joined. And if you take a survey across most Microsoft team, I'm sure you hear similar echoes of why they joined Microsoft. Now, within the back end, what do these recruiters do when we send in our resumes? So I've done a step-by-step process of our recruitment process. I'll do my best to highlight what it is like in the back end. Now we have the application process. All of our applications are posted online. That's our Microsoft Careers and wrapped into LinkedIn. Whatever doesn't fit into Microsoft Careers are non-existent. They are not real. So whenever you look for opportunities with Microsoft, just go straight to our career page. We are obligated to post all of our jobs online. So you will find them online. Post your application. You might be applying to a role directly, or you might be creating a profile on our career sites. It depends on you. If you want to create a profile on our career site, I would advise you do that. Set your job alerts. So that gives you opportunity to know when those jobs are available instantly. Post your application. Recruiters like me, there are many of us within the team will screen your resume based on the job requirements. Now, I'll walk you through what a typical resume would look like. But when you put in your resume, ensure that your resume speaks to the role or the skill sets that you are applying for. These are some of the things that we would search for. Post that, we in Microsoft do what we call technical screens. Now, technical screens differs for different people. When we have software engineers, you would have a coding session, either through Codility, which is an online test, or, for example, say you're applying for a project management role or a cloud architect role, you would have a 45-minute session with the hiring manager or the recruiter, just trying to understand your skill sets and how best to fit into the role. So that's what we call a technical screen. When you are successful with that, you're invited to an interview day. Now, I remember the first time I got an opportunity to interview with Microsoft, and I was like, "You mean I'm going to have 4 hours of interview on one day?" Yes, absolutely. So you have 4 interviews, 45 minutes each. Each interviewer will assess you independently, and that's the beautiful thing. Say you have a not so great interview in one interview with one interviewer, you might have great interviews with the remaining 3 interviews. So that gives you an opportunity to be successful at that interview. Interview sessions will drill both technical skills and non-technical skills, and they also speak to our culture, what are our values, and how best you fit into those. When you are successful, I am always very happy to put an offer on the table. Nothing excites recruiters and hiring managers more than delivering that great news. I've had people set up, and I had a candidate once who I called, and when I delivered the news, I could hear the family at the background screaming, and I mean, that experience gave me so much joy. Now, sometimes you're unsuccessful, and I get to also reach out to you to tell you that you are unsuccessful, unfortunately, at this time, and these are the reasons why. Now, are there any cooling period with Microsoft? I know many companies have cooling periods, no, but I will always advise you, if you have an unsuccessful interview, take some time, ramp up based on the feedback that was given to you, and reapply. We've had second timers, third timers. We don't hold you for the number of times in your interview. Microsoft has a culture of, if you fail, you can relearn and you can come back again. So don't be discouraged. Please go ahead to reapply again. If we were unsuccessful at one point, you can be successful at another point. Typically, Microsoft will do a background check to check your education, previous employer, and your ID. Post that, we do the contract signing, and you join Yemi, who has worked for 9 years in Microsoft and become a Microsoftie. I hope to be like Yemi. Every time I hear one of those, I'm like, oh my God, when am I going to be like this? So that's the overview of the back end whole recruitment process. Just for, if you have any questions, please let us know. Now, in terms of your resume, what we're looking at, bear in mind that we are not yet at the point where ATS, we don't leverage on ATS to do all of our screenings. So when you do put in your resume, my advice would be a one-pager where possible. We might have experienced people in the house where a one-pager is absolutely impossible. In that case, make it 2 pages at most. Just clean. You can clean, nice format. You can discuss all of your amazing achievements during the interviews. Be simple, be straightforward. Please put your resumes in format that is accessible by almost all systems. I have seen resumes where people actually forget to put in their contact details or miss a number, or miss a letter, and then we keep getting failed delivery. So ensure that your contact details are yours. I've also seen where people put wrong contact details of moms and dads. Please don't do that. I'm sure we all have mobile phones. Put in your contact details and your emails so that we can access you when we need to. If you're an intern or you're a graduate hire, I would also advise that you state your year of graduation clearly, date and month, only where it is applicable, because it's not all the time that we do require this. Well, this okay. My slides are not moving. Sorry. Oops. Okay, so in terms of resume basics also, some of the things that you would include, first of all, where the job role requires your university degree. Now, most of our job roles in Microsoft might not require a university degree. So if it requires a university degree, you will state it. Your experiences in terms of internship and work experiences. If you're applying for an internship route, please go ahead to list out maybe your previous internship or whatever projects you've worked on, and then your work experience. You want to detail your work experience. You want to, like I mentioned before, you want to ensure that your work experience or whatever you are detailing in your resume is tailored to fit the job advert, so that it is easy to align your resume with the role. If you're a software engineer, you want to put in your programming language. Please note that for Microsoft, you can come in with whatever programming language that you are used to, whatever stack you're comfortable with. So you don't have to, be a C# expert to join Microsoft. Feel free. All programming languages are welcome. If you're not a programmer, you want to detail some of the projects that you've worked on, and relevant coursework or projects that would help your application. I would advise that you list in personal projects that you've done. You can put in links to those projects. I've seen design resumes where candidates put in their canvas. Just put in everything that you think can help the hiring manager assess you accurately. Look at it like this: that one pager is a representation of your skills and your experiences. So you want to put in all the links and whatever you think might help your application to be successful. Now you want to put in things like leadership skills, communication skills. By leadership skills, probably maybe you led a project in school, or you're leading a project, or you're leading a community, or if for experienced hires, if you have some leadership roles that you've worked on and you like to detail, you put all of those in. For interns, we would just on the lighter notes, please do not put in any rap battles. Ensure that your resume is role specific, speaking to what is required as at the time of application. Now, this is a sample resume. As you can see, we have very simple, the education. This is very software engineering specific. This resume is very software engineering specific. If you want to apply this to maybe a cloud architect role, you might be putting in some relevant trainings or maybe coursework. Or if you have, for example, an Azure security certification or a security certification, you want to put that in there. Your professional experience, your personal project, like I mentioned, your leadership skills, and then your skill set. I like this resume because he went on to just let me know that, just by looking at his resume, I know that his or her resume, I know that his preferred language is C#, and then he can write Java and can try maybe writing in Python, just by looking at this resume. So you want your resume to be really simple and detailed, and easy for anyone to access and to understand. Now, in terms of our pathways, we have two pathways. So whenever you go into the Microsoft website, you could search under the university opportunities or the industry opportunities. Under the university opportunities, we have two parts. We have that for the early careers, that's where you have the interns, and then we have the aspire hires, that's where you have the graduate students. Now, for interns, those are for full-time university students within 12 months of graduation, just still maybe have 2 to 4 semesters left. And then for graduates, we have graduates who graduated probably for next year. We'll be looking at graduates who graduated 2023, graduated this year. Now, industry opportunities are anyone who have at least 1 year, sometimes even 6 months, 6 months experience. You go on that industry opportunities, you click on your relevant skills and experiences, and you find whatever you're looking for. All of our roles are listed on our website, be it the software engineering roles, cloud architect roles, HR roles, program managers roles. Everything is listed on our website. Now, in terms of internship, I heard a lot of it. I think a couple of you are from the universities. So these are some of the internship opportunities we have. For an internship opportunity, you must be returning to school for at least a minimum of 1 semester, right? We take candidates from variety of backgrounds, maths, physics, mechanical engineering, anything really, as long as you have the fundamentals of computer science and of coding, right? You can code typically. Most of our internship across Africa are usually within the software engineering space and program management space. So you will find those opportunities within Africa. I don't think we have that open right now, but I think it's something that will be coming up soon. Now, for the graduate opportunities, they are very similar. We hire ranges we hire students from different background. You don't have to be a computer science or data science. You don't have to be a C# expert. You can come with whatever stack you're comfortable with. However, you have to demonstrate that you do have a little bit of understanding of code. You have an understanding of your programming language. You can at least code, and you have done some good projects, good internship. An internship with a company like Microsoft would make your application more successful, or similar, maybe not, if not Microsoft, maybe a smaller company, but you just need to be able to demonstrate that you have the fundamental skills required for this role. Now, in terms of your interview, what are your interviews looking for? You'll be assessed via you'll be assessed in 3 ways: technical, non-technical, and cultural add to Microsoft. Now, in terms of technical, say for example, I gave 2 examples here. If you're coming through the software engineering route, you'll be assessed based on technical skills like algorithms, data structures, and system designs. But for technical skills, it depends on what you're applying to. If you're applying for a cloud architect role, for example, your technical skills will be drilled towards your understanding of Azure security or Azure solutions. Those are some of the technical skills that you will be drilled on. And if you are being assessed as a program manager, for example, your technical skills will be based on program management. If, for example, I'm going in for an interview, I'll be assessed on some of the technical skills like sourcing, as a HR person. Those are some of the things that I will be assessed on. So each role, every time you interview with Microsoft, there are technical parts of the interview, there are non-technical parts of the interview. By non-technical, you could call them behavioral parts of the interview that you'll be assessed on, and then there's the cultural add. Now, problem-solving skills for us is key, and collaboration. In Microsoft, you will hear us talk about One Microsoft, because we understand that we come together to deliver the company objective. So we all must work across board, collaborate with people from different backgrounds, different regions, different time zones, to ensure that we deliver on the company objective. Drive for results is key for us. Customer obsession is key for us. Communication is key for us. Now, to be honest, without good communication, your interview process, your communication with your interviewer will be a bit of a pain if we're honest with each other. So we have to ensure that our communication skills are great. We're able to tell our story accurately. We are able to, understand and listen to our interviews while we go through the process. Now, in terms of what are the cultural attributes that stand out in Microsoft, number 1 is the growth mindset. The growth mindset means that, look, I can learn, I can unlearn, and I can relearn. I am always ready to learn. I am always ready to do better. I can see my limitations. And when I fail intelligently. My boss will say, you fail intelligently, and then you know how to pick up yourself from that failure, learn from your mistakes, and improve your processes. We respect one another. We are customer focused. Customer for me, for example, is you. the talents. I want to work with empathy to understand your needs and how I can, make sure that I deliver on your needs. And I also want to understand my hiring manager needs to ensure that I deliver on his needs. In all of this, I should be able to show empathy to both your needs. And I love the fact that Microsoft is diverse and inclusive. We are inclusive in all that we do, and we respect our uniqueness within each and every one of our teams. So you will be assessed based on all these things. And if you are a great technical person and your coding assessment was great, but in terms of culture fits, you do not have, for example, a growth mindset. You are not able to listen, take feedback, and implement change. You are not adaptable. You might not be a great fit for Microsoft. Microsoft holds its culture very dear. So before your interviews, you need to understand the company. You need to research what is important to us, and you should be able to demonstrate that you have the right mindset to be able to thrive in Microsoft. Now, I think this is applicable to every other company, whether it's Microsoft, Google, Amazon, wherever you apply for. You need to understand the values within those companies and ensure that you are able to live with it and you are able to talk through them. Now, before your interview, I always say to my candidates, there's nothing like too much research. Research before you go into your interviews. There are so many content you can find online. We have program managers, we have project managers who have detailed what it is like to work in Microsoft. We have software engineers who have sat down to write what some of the things you might be able to leverage on in terms of preparing for your interviews. So research. For my software engineers, you will be assessed 70% on the codes you write. So practice, practice, practice. I personally, before I go for any interview, I might be a bit, it might be a bit overboard, but I anticipate the questions that I might be asked, and I do practice those questions. I call someone, maybe a colleague or a friend, and run an interview. I think about my experiences and I prepare extensively for my interviews. So my advice always is to research and prepare for your interviews. Now, our interviewers are there to ensure that the interview is a success. They are not there to make you fail. We've all been at the other side of the bench at one point or the other. And the reason I joined Microsoft was because one of the reasons was because my interviewer was great, my manager was great. So they are there to make sure that you have a good interview. Now, when you are asked a question, do not be scared. Ask clarifying questions. I've been in an interview when I was given a question and I said, I'm sorry, I have not had that. I don't have an experience in that area. Is it possible to try for another question? And I've had to ask, could you, repeat this or maybe rephrase it to give me a better understanding? Please do not hesitate to ask clarifying questions, and also with the software engineers. I know we have very smart, intelligent people, but don't jump into your codes immediately you get the question. Ask clarifying questions so that you do not get stuck and you are stuck in some complexities that you could have avoided at the beginning. Now, while interviewing, please always use the STAR methodology. Typically, what this means is that whenever you are asked a question, for example, tell me about the time when you had a problem, maybe when you had a challenge. You want to start with detailing what your understanding of the problem, what the situation was as at that time. That's what the S is for. That's the situation. You want to ask clarifying questions as at that point. And then you want to go ahead to talk about the tax in terms of briefly explain what you were taxed with, and share your responsibilities and the assignment for the tax. I personally like to talk about the impact of the tax of the situation to the company and my customers. And then you go ahead to talk about your actions, talk about the actions you took to resolve your problems, talk about the challenges you faced based on the actions and the decisions that you took, share your thought processes and how you reached to those conclusions. And please, in a Microsoft interview, do not be scared to talk about your challenges or your failures. And if there are any failures, share them, but also share how well you navigated through those failures and you were able to implement changes. Now you want to talk about your results. What was it that you accomplished? Share evidence, maybe numbers if possible. Share the feedback you receive, pleasant feedback, not pleasant feedback. Share and share how your experience, affected the company in terms of the growth for the company and all of that. Where it is applicable, if it's a project, whatever, share with the team. Share with the team. Okay. Um, at the end of the day, guys, we are there to make sure that you are successful at your interview. And after your interviews, please reach out. If when you are asked, what do you have any questions before your interview, prepare for those questions. Ask your interviewers role specific questions. What was it? What do you think like success is going? What is your understanding of success for this role? And you want to also, if you had issues, for example, during the interview, when you were not able to answer a question, I have in an interview asked an interviewer that, look, I think I struggled with answering this question. Could you give me your thoughts on how I could have answered this question better? So it was an opportunity for me to learn something new that day. So an interview is a time where you can learn from the interviewer and where the interviewer can learn from you. So I'm going to hold here and see if there are any questions that you might have. I think I've just been told that I am out of time, and then we can wrap up. I can't hear anything. Guys, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear anybody.
Hi, Erica. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I couldn't hear anyone.
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much for your session. Please, can we clap for Hi? So I know because of time we can't take much questions, but someone was asking if they could have access to the slides.
Yes. I could PDF it and send them to you so you can share with whoever needs it. It's fine. I'm happy to do that.
Okay, great. So to get those details out to everyone, what we are going to do at the end is going to share a form where you fill in your details, your email address, as well as your full name. Let me go this way so those online can hear me. So when we share that form with you all, everybody would need to input those details for two reasons. First, to get the details Erica will share with one, and then secondly, to get the digital badge for attending Techies Meetup. Right. So those are the two things you would need your details for. So please take note of that link at the end I will be sharing with you all. Thank you for sharing that with us. Any other question? Just one question. Just one question. I think Erica covered everything because there's only one person currently raising his hand. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Erica Imama, for your session. My question is, I don't want people to see me as a person who loves money. Because there are times where I have had several interviews with recruiters, and they ask this question that, okay, if we are recruiting, or if we are getting you, if you are working with us, how much do you think we can pay you? So, and I've attended series of events that where they say you can use glass door to get those things correct. But to get it right now, so I want you to share, to enlighten us about that. Thank you very much.
So, if I understand your question correctly, yeah, you were asking let me understand, is it okay to share your expectations with recruiters or not? Or are you asking, would Microsoft be able to meet our expectations in terms of pay? Which is it?
Okay, what I'm asking is that, okay, if the recruiter is asking that, okay, we are recruiting you now, how much do you think we can pay you? So
Um,
what's the question?
So typically, what the recruiter is asking is, what are your expectations, right? I can't speak for every recruiter, but I think if for standard companies with good culture, you can always tell them your expectation. For example, well, that is not going to change. That is not going to change anything about how much we pay, because there's a budget for every role. As an experienced recruiter, sometimes recruiters ask you that to gauge if you might be within the budget for the role. But I know there are people who think that recruiters ask that to change you for the role, but I don't think that's the case. Speaking from the other side of the bench now, if I ask the candidate that, and for example, the candidate says, "Look, Erica wants to pay me 100,000 USD." I'm going to tell you kindly that, oh, I'm sorry, I might not be able to, pay that. Will you be able to consider the role if, we pay within this and this? So really, it's not a one shoe, it's not a one size fits all approach. Where you have very, professional recruiters, it's just an honest question to check if you land within the budget. But for example, you are not obligated to answer. To be honest, it's a choice. So you can always say, why not? I'll leave you to, as my recruiter. I usually say I'll leave you as my recruiter to land me on a good pay or for the role as soon as we're done interviewing. That is usually my response. But my expectations are around this. And I mean, if the budget is more, please do feel free to let me know, and then we'll go from there. But my advice is, don't treat your recruiters as the enemies. If we are not the enemies, we're only trying to land you on the right path. Yep. Any other question?
I think a lot of people are scared to mention amounts that are too big or amounts that are too small. So thanks for clarifying that. Sorry, because of time, that's the only question we can take. At this point, we're going to be dividing into different rooms. From your email, you notice we talked about 3 different sessions, 3 breakout rooms. The first focus on Azure Cognitive Services, the second on GitHub, and the last would actually be focused on how you can build AI solutions with Microsoft's Power Platform. So at this point, we would need you all to decide. But just before you decide, I'll pass it on to Shola to share some information with you all. So start deciding in your mind which breakout room you are going to join.
Okay, so I know one big thing we are all here for is swag, right? I'm not seeing any excitement for the swag. Do you have, like, you guys don't want that? Because I will gladly carry everything home. You don't want swag, I'm not seeing the excitement. Okay, so we have a few things that we want you guys to do so that we can be sure that you're really in for this program and you are interested in getting our swag. So this is our round 2. Remember, the first one we did was for you to meet your neighbor, take a picture and tweet. And the person that has the highest likes or the highest retweets would get something. So if you've not done that, please go ahead and do so. If you're afraid that you don't want to put your picture online, then you can just say something like, I am live with this person at Techies Meetup and I have met this person. You can retweet that. Person that has the highest likes we'll get something. Now, next, I want someone here to say something they learned from the last two sessions we've had. The first was about introduction to ADC and opportunities at Microsoft, and the second now is with Ms. Erica preparing for opportunities at Microsoft. So, can someone please tell me what they've learned extensively? So, you've been talking since. Yes. Let's give someone a paper. You asked a question. You raise up your hand. That's
Sorry? Okay. My name is Mijeke Kolaoli. I am a final year student of Breakout University. Oh my God. I don't know who I am. So I am the president of my faculty. I'm GS lead in my school. I do cybersecurity, amongst a couple other responsibilities. Currently unemployed, like most of us here. I don't have work, right? So yeah, we're hustling. So for the first session, right, it was mainly just an introduction to what the ADC is about, right? And he did well to share the goals, the goal, the goal that the ADC has, which is to create a pipeline, consistency, a very strong pool of talent in was it Africa or Nigeria? I know the A in ADC means Africa, but then you mentioned something about 150 to 500 developers in Nigeria. Okay, thanks. So yeah, it's a very beautiful thing that that they're embarking on at ADC. Then for the second session, the preparing for opportunities at Microsoft. I think that's everyone here can definitely agree that that was like an in-depth, what's the word? In-depth dive into what the process actually is like, right? Imagine hearing from the person that is most likely going to be reviewing your CV, how they are going to be reviewing your CV, your resume, right? I really enjoyed the session. I don't know if you said before. I really enjoyed the session with her. I took a couple of notes and pictures too of the slides. Yeah, it was very nice.
Oh yes, yes, super happy to have someone in my field. And yes, so you're getting swag. Thank you for that. Very nice cover of what we've done so far. Now the next thing is whatever you're tweeting, whatever question or summary that you have that you want to tweet, make sure you tag these folks. First of all, use our hashtag. Our hashtag is Techies Meetup. Techies Meetup. So capital or small letter T, doesn't matter. Techies Meetup. Then people you're atting that you're tagging in your tweets, you're tagging the Microsoft Nigeria, that's Microsoft, you have the Microsoft logo. Then you're also tagging MLSA, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Nigeria. Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Nigeria, MLSA Nigeria. What we're going to display next is actually the slides for the breakout session. So we have the Microsoft Nigeria, the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Nigeria, then Japlets Onwamo. If you search, the name will come up. Then the Oyinbo Key, that's Honorable Oyinbo Key. So you're tagging those four people. One, I mentioned Microsoft Nigeria, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Nigeria, Japlets Onwamo, and Olariwaju Oyinbo. If you don't tag those four people and you have the highest number of retweets, you won't be getting anything because you can't do any fact checking from our end. So make sure to tag those four people. As an afterthought, you can decide to tag the community in your university. If you have a Microsoft community in university and they're on Twitter, you can tag them. Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? Those in the other breakout rooms, I hope you can hear me. Okay. So now we go to our breakout sessions.
So just before we split out our breakout rooms, let me oops. Okay, so these are other resources we have for as cloud advocates. that you could also utilize. For those online, these are links, key links that you could also use to create great resumes. For those in breakout room A, I'm sure you can hear me clearly. Okay. So please take note of this link. You can learn how to create your resume yourself, and then you are utilizing the links that would also be shared by Erica. The link will be shared through your email address. Like I mentioned earlier, at the end of the event, I'll be sharing the link to a form where we can collect your email address and your full name. Those details would be what we'll be using to send out all the resources, including your badge. So I'll just wait for everyone to take note of that link just before I move my screen. So next, for those who are joining physically, for these next sessions, we are here with your personal computer, you would need internet. So this is how to access internet. If you're here, so this specific, I'm sure they can still see this.
Breakout, let them go, breakout sessions. Share those details.
So for those in the different breakout rooms, room A, that is the one to my left, would be the session on how to utilize GitHub and Azure Static Web Apps to create an amazing resume, an amazing online resume. A lot of times you need to share your resume and you don't have it handy. So how can you create an online portfolio using GitHub and Microsoft Azure Static Web Apps? For this room, we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and how you can use computer vision to create AI solutions with Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services. So I think there was someone that was in computer vision that might be of interest to you. Please stay in the middle room. And then for those who want to learn how to build AI solutions without writing code, please head over to the room at the far right, wherever you're sitting. That is breakout room C. So we'll take 3 minutes to please go over to those different rooms. The room, I'm currently at the middle of the hall. So if you know you are going for the GitHub and Azure building a resume, please go to hall A. The hall A by my left. For those who want to learn about Azure Cognitive Services and AI, they would stay in this specific room I am. And then for those who want to learn about Power Platform, local development, you go to receive. For those online, we'll be streaming the hall I am currently. And in this hall, we're talking about Azure Cognitive Services, how you can build great solutions using Azure Cognitive Services. So we'll take some time for everybody to settle in their respective breakout rooms.
There's access code right on the different internet.
Yes.
There's access code. This access code as it is. And you have offline, you're not online. This is the access code. MS 7 for 2MC, right? Later they calm down. pass it manually to them. So go to other room, tell them this is the access code to the internet, go to other room, this is the access code to the get that one. Let me just so go and check the other one now. You know the access code of how you want to snap it. No, I need this system here. I need it here. We're using here and we'll be connecting to StreamYard. The same thing Jaflex is doing now. We'll be doing it, connecting to StreamYard. And people will be able to see us because this is the link. This is the room we are streaming online. We can't stream all the way. It's a lot of dependency. So go to MS. Someone is called, just check which side. Yes, Jaflex should be there now. Just let it. But Shola, that's just Shola. Is it who is there? Who would they assign there?
What's this?
Go to the internet, right hand side. The internet. Is it connected?
Are you
Go to
no, just my
MS. Oh, okay.
like introducing people. Sir, we're going to be talking about Azure First Event.
Both sessions we talk about. This one, they're using.
Which one are you permanently staying in?
No, I'm not passing because I'm not.
But Chocolate is saying that you permanently stay in C.
Me.
Yes, big. The one that's talking about Azure and Git, like Azure for people, so that those online can hear about Azure for people.
Yeah, this is the we talk about it.
So I have to go to another one, so you stay here.
Okay.
Is it possible?
Okay, fine.
I have to join.
So enter MS event for it. So all right. Hello guys. So how has been the session so far? Okay, so I just want to quickly pass this to you. You need to connect to the internet, and this is the instruction right on the screen. So go to your wireless and look for MSFT guest. That is the wireless service. Once you connect to it, it takes you to a web page and asks you to sign in. You will see event attendee code. So that's the option you should click on. Is the middle one. Once you click on that option, then you should enter this code MS event 482. MS event 482.
You're not connected.
Yes, I know, but you know, privacy policy.
Why step?
You get this instruction. Has anyone connected? Okay, what's it?
It's not running. It's fine. Just use it now. You can just talk about the code. Tell them like what.
If you are not here with your laptop, you can practice as long as
I think they are going to
just put your browser on web mode, desktop mode. That will enable you to have that
think of it. Although there's something I reported a bug that. Yeah, it's only 22 minutes.
This one is taking
Can you just change the file?
Are you connected with them?
Yes.
You need to actually do you have WhatsApp there or anything because we need to join StreamYard because that's where you share your stream. You can stream it.
Oh, okay. How do I get the link?
To share with you. That's what I'm asking. Do you have your internet?
Yes. Okay, what's after?
So that I can share the link and put it on. And again, you need to remove this. Oops.
How are you sure? In this up now.
You're not on backstage again.
You're in the show, eh?
Yeah. I know how you're smiling. You really like.
Are you presenting a slide?
Yes.
Yeah, share your slide. Share your slide.
You're like.
This number. Okay. So use normal share screen.
From StreamYard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you upload it, yeah, you can click on slide to upload the slide directly. So I think that's
Oh, okay.
your computer.
Do I,
Can you download it?
I haven't downloaded it.
Okay, it's processing. So I'll pull it up because that's what we need to show. And then she will introduce you immediately. And you can start. Once you're done with the slide, you need to share your screen again. The browser you're using, I hope is under tab or under window for the demo, or you're not doing any demo.
I'm doing them. I'm hoping that I can switch back and forth from slide to tab.
You have to stop sharing and sharing all those kind of things.
Can you share the entire screen? Does it work for me?
You can share it. It's just the navigation frictions. Where is the window?
For what?
For the demo.
I can use anyone here.
Like just open it.
So there are different pages I have to open.
Do you have them open already? Can you open them down now?
Yeah. Okay, in that case.
Okay, for example.
Okay.
Or should I mute this?
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, great, it's working. So our next session, here, that's the building. Okay, so let's begin with it. So we're in breakout room E, and our breakout session is a session with two of our student ambassadors here. And the title of their session is Building AI Solutions with Azure Cognitive Services. So we have two of them already with me here. The first is Bomi Akimere, and we also have Paul Sally. So I'd like to briefly tell their families. So Bomi, she is a positive-minded and passionate number lover. Her love for numerical values led her to the world of data. Her experience in the data world speaks of excellence. She is a professional data scientist and technical writer with a clear perspective. She's a machine learning engineer at Rural Farmers Hub, helping farmers by building sustainable solutions leveraging AI and GIS. She has keen research interests in environmental and climate change issues, and she's helping NGOs by building sustainable solutions to help clean up activities. And she has received multiple recognitions for her AI contributions and community building spirit in the Miss Algorithm 2021 award by DSM. Now she currently leads a women in data science community with a mission to help build data careers, help women build data careers. And she's a gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and she empowers people to learn about Microsoft technology. Can we just give her a round of applause? And then we have Paul. Paul is a passionate Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador with experience in software engineering and data analysis. And he's currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer engineering at the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Paul's experience includes working as a contractor on multiple projects where he has gained a hands-on experience developing back-end applications and software utilities required for scalable and highly available systems. And as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, as an MLSA, he has helped to build and engage a thriving community of hundreds of students through planned events like panel sessions and boot camps, who are eager to learn and join the technology industry in the future. And throughout his academic and professional career, Paul has consistently demonstrated his ability to learn quickly and take on new challenges. He is a motivated individual with strong work ethic and a commitment to achieving his goals. And his free time, when he's not coding, Paul enjoys watching cartoons. First of all, you're from University of Lagos. So if you are in the Microsoft Net community for University of Lagos, and you are from she's from OAU, so she's sharp and they honestly, like I see what she does on Twitter and I'm always impressed by her. So let's give you guys the session.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, so to start the session. So today we're going to talk about how to train a classifier model using Azure Cognitive Service. And we're going to show you how to create, from creating a resource on Azure Studio, to design your models, to how you actually train this, right? Without having to write AI codes or having to build deep machine learning models and all those complex stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting session and it's hands-on. So if you've not already connect to the internet because you're going to be coding along with us.
Right, thank you very much, Rumi and Shola, for that one introduction. Like she said, my name is Paul, and I will be taking the first part of this session. So it's going to be split into two parts. Me will be handling the second part. The first part here is training a classifier. So before we get into all of that, we'll do some talk and let's see how we can make this session a bit more interactive. So let me ask a quick question here. How many of us know what AI means? And I don't mean like I've been heard the word or the phrase AI, but do we actually know what AI means? Show of hands. If you're confident that you know what AI is, or you know the difference between AI and machine learning, because all of these terms like they fly around often. So okay, do you want to give it a run?
For me, I think machine learning is AI itself.
Nice.
Sorry?
Yeah. Let's take it.
Okay. For me, it's not machine learning is AI itself.
Right. That's one opinion. You might not be so you have to like speak from there. Just say your name and then.
Okay. My name is Techies.
Right.
Like machine learning is a subset under AI. AI deals with anything relating to using either data, is leveraging it, whether computer vision, NLP, and anything that you can use to like make things easier and advance whatever you are doing. So
just hold on, let me talk.
So do you Hello?
Just can hear you. Just
okay. So like AI is a very broad like use with anything relating to like using software data and learning from data to like make informed decisions and like make life easier. So and machine learning is like a subset under AI, which uses like training of like a model through data to like so that you can be able to predict or like solve problems and like when and like forecasts.
Yeah.
Mathematical and statistical models. Yeah,
exactly. A round of applause for Thank you very much, both of participants that give it go. So, like you said, machine learning is actually a subset of AI. I have a couple of slides here that I have prepared to help you, but generally, what AI is it stands for artificial intelligence, right? And you probably are familiar that when people say something is artificial, it means it's not natural, right? And non-natural intelligence is what AI is, right? So AI is a process, or you can think of it as a now, it's a thing. So it's a process of making computers mimic human intelligence. So, and you can think of a couple of things that are like features of human intelligence. So, say being able to play games, is a feat of human intelligence. Asking questions and answering questions, those are feats of human intelligence. So the goal of AI in general is to make computers behave or mimic human intelligence. So it goes beyond just machine learning. Machine learning happens to be one of the fields of that AI. So you have things like robotics. And you can think of how is robotics making computers mimic human intelligence. You have a computer on your hand, your phone. Can it play football? It can. Can it climb stairs? It can. It can do work. So those are the things. Those are fields that enable computers to be more than what they are, in the aspect of making things that mimic human intelligence. So, can you help me with the slide? If you can, you can. Yeah. Right. Okay, just get 1 minute, please. Thinking. How can I pin? Oh, okay. So just use the arrows. Right. So in this section we're going to like cover a couple of things. Next slide. Going to the next one. Yeah. So like I said, it's process of making machine being able to mimic human intelligence. Yeah. Next slide. Right. So sorry, too fast. Can go. There's a line, right? Okay, you know what? Let's just do it. So machine learning is one of the fields. I did a research to find like other areas that are under AI. So you have an interesting Quora post like this is I don't know how I can share this to you, but you're able to like copy this somehow. It's an interesting thread that covers like all of the other areas under AI. So you have robotics and gameplay. How many of us play chess here online? Play chess. So you know those bots that you play with, those are feats or products of AI. Because you're playing with the bot and it's like you're playing with someone, right? And those bots are like extreme because well sorry. Sorry about that. So and those bots are like extremely smart because they play like grandmasters and some of them are unbeatable because they've done the math. They know the best moves to take. So those are things of AI. So how do we actually do this? These are the fields that are under them. And machine learning happens to be one of those fields, right? So what's the machine learning? Next slide. Right. So it's based on like using data to teach computers how to tell. I don't want to say right from wrong, but you're basically using data to say, hey, this is how you identify a fish, or yeah, this is how you identify a fish. This is how you identify a human being, and there are different ways that this could go. So based on like the models that you're using, as a matter of fact, in this section we're going to see how we can use machine learning to train a model for computer vision, right? So, right, there's also another field that's coming up now that's called deep learning. Does anyone have an idea of what deep learning is? What is different between machine learning and deep learning? Okay. Sorry, the guy at the back has a really hard. So just say a name on it. Sure.
Let's do what we see. Let's do what we see.
I think you come to the board.
Let's do what we see. The difference in machine learning and deep learning is that machine learning mostly explores the teaching models, trends and traditional models like linear regression, traditional statistical models like linear regression is unique. Why deep learning is more concerned with how you train neural networks. So neural networks are this kind of like applications of how our brains work. So deep learning uses the neural networks, machine learning uses statistical.
Exactly. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I'm going to say this.
Okay. So, but like you can say, mm, if you want to be able to differentiate between like living things, right? So we can work our way up from uh, living organisms, right? You can start from living organisms. You can say, okay, we have different kind of organisms based on like um, families, right? You know, kingdom, animal kingdom. We have plants, phylum, right? Then you can go down all the way to like specific species of like. Do you get? So now a neural net or artificial neural is kind of like a decision tree with multiple layers, right? So you can have, imagine you have a neural net with just so two layers, right? So one layer can tell you what if what I'm looking at is actually a living thing or a non-living thing, right? Then the next layer can tell you what kind of living thing. Maybe it's a plant or an animal. So you can imagine like these different layers where results from each layer are being passed down to the next layer, so you can make very precise predictions or descriptions of any given data set. So that's why these things are really powerful. As a matter of fact, custom vision is built on top of something called CNN or a convolutional neural net, which is used to identify like pictures. Next slide. So another way we can categorize a machine learning is based on like whether or not we teach these models or we teach the computer kind of manually how to classify data. So there's something called supervised learning and there's unsupervised learning, right? So imagine like you want to be able to, okay, so let's use human beings. I can describe how a, let's see, I can describe how a red Indian, sorry, that's the first thing that came to my mind, I don't know. I can describe how a red Indian looks like. So you've never seen one before, right? And you could go out into like wherever you find red Indian, and then when you are there, you say, okay, I give you a set of features that you should look out for. They wear a certain kind of attire, they look a certain kind of way, and you look at, you say you have a checklist, you are checking them off one by one and saying, okay, this is, it's there. What I'm looking at has all those features, right? You can now say, okay, for sure, then this must be the red Indian, right? So imagine I gave you all of that description, all of those check marks that you need to check. You can easily tell, a red Indian from a regular person. And you find, right? So that's supervised learning. However, with unsupervised learning, I don't give you anything. You just go ahead and say, okay, in this group of people, there are fair people, there are black people. Let me see what kind of pattern I can make and create this kind of classification. So that's how machine learning is when you're talking about how you train data. So next slide. Now, this brings us to custom vision. We're going to get our hands dirty right now. So if you're not connected, make sure you're connected. I hope everyone here has an Azure account. Let's see how we can create a simple classifier on Microsoft Azure. So next slide. I'm going to speed through this because I don't have much time. So custom vision is Microsoft's offering for under a group of services called Azure Cognitive Services. So custom vision allows you to be able to identify the images, right? You can train models that can identify images. So, and we will see how to do that. An image identifier of that. Next slide. Next slide. So, prerequisites for this, you need an Azure account and you need to be connected to the internet. By the way, Scott, how many of us have seen that news? There's only one guy. Where's John now? All right, shout out to everyone that's seen that move. Next slide. Right, so the first thing I want to do here is let's all go to this web address. I'm going to hop on my computer now to show you how it works. Yeah, I should see. Right, so let's go to. Can you help me with this? Okay, after, okay. It's showing. It's not showing. Oh, I'm showing. Okay, so just head over to that URL. Now, while you are there, if you already have an Azure account, what you will see is the option to add sandbox, right? So just click on that, and then it will prompt you to sign in. So this gives us access to the premium services for a short amount of time, and then we can use that to create. We can use that to create the resources that we need. So once you click on activate sandbox, it will bring this up, review permissions.
Right, so it's prompting me to log in first. Okay. So yeah, you get this prompt. So just click on accept and it will take you straight to the sandbox. You'll be logged into the sandbox basically. So right, once you've done this, oh the link, sure. Yeah. Has everyone written it now? Do you have it? You can just take a snapshot of on the screen now. There's not much time left. All right. So next thing you want to do is to head over to Azure. Just open a new tab and go to the Azure portal. So if you already have an account, this should be straightforward. Just log in. Right. So when you're on the home page, when you're on the home page, just click on create a resource, and you in the search bar just type custom vision. Yeah, that's it. So click on it. The first option that comes up. That one, and click the create button. So now it's bring you here, right? So what you want to do is make sure this is checked, put on both. Leave the subscription as it is. It should be the learn subscription for you if you are using the sandbox. And here we can create a new resource group. I'm just going to call it Vision 2023. Right. So for the regions, select South Central US, and then pick any name. I guess I'll use same. So already available. So okay, that one is already in use. Let's change it. So all right, so this is fine. Now for the training pricing tire. So you should see an option for F0, like free version. Just click on that and use the same one here. And while you're once you're done, just click review and create. Then finally click the create button. Then after a couple of seconds, it will create the resource for you. So while that is running, let's open up another tab. Let's open up another tab and go to cost. Let's download some pictures to train our model with. So head over to this URL, the one on your screen now. Sorry if I'm a bit fast because like time is running out, but if are you following? Do you have issues? All right.
Is everyone following? Any questions? Just raise up your hand so you can help you out.
Jesus. Okay, where are you lost at? Okay, can you help them with that? Okay, yeah, okay, Bumi is going to go around helping those that need help. So, in the meantime, if you are with me, just go to this URL, download the pictures. So it's a couple of folders, right? It's a couple of folders. If you look at those folders, they are labeled, right? And if you recall, when I said I was giving an example about how if I was describing a red Indian to someone, I would tell them the features that they have, right? So you can imagine that what I'm saying here is if you want to identify a house sparrow, you need to look at those different pictures that I've put there. This is how the birds look like. So each folder contains different pictures of those bird types in them. That way, the model will look at all those pictures and pick some features there and say, okay, this is what this particular kind of bird looks like. And we're going to create something called a tag, on each one, because it doesn't really know that this is a bird unless I say call these things that have these similar features, call it bird A. If you see these ones that have these similar features, call it bird B. So when I give you an unknown picture, you should look at that picture, find those features, see which bird that you have in your labels that it is closest to, in terms of like similarities with features. So right, just download those pictures. I already have them downloaded, so it's not that I already have them downloaded. I don't need to download them anymore. So next thing we do is we'll go to the custom vision portal. So just go to that URL. This is customvision.ai/project. Once you've downloaded the pictures, go to this URL here. Customvision.ai/project. Right. So okay, the custom vision resource is done, so we can continue. So once you open that URL to the custom vision portal, it will prompt you to log in as well. So use the same. Is that on Azure? Just custom vision. Yeah. So when you are here, just click on new project. Then you can name it in the same way. I'm going to use the same name, 2023. This is not compulsory. Now here, you choose the resource. You see the resource group that you created on Azure from here. So just click on that. This is the one we just created now. Then leave all the other options as they are, and click on create project. Oh, you don't, great. So now that we're here, we're going to train the model. So we just add a couple of images. So click on add images. I'm going to go to downloads. So train this. Oh, shit. So we have American Crow. I'm just going to highlight all of them here. Click on open, then upload, then add a tag. So this is the American Crow. So I'm just going to add a tag. So this tag is basically me saying these are features for American Crow. So it's going to pick all those things from here by itself using a model. So we just wait for that. That's done. Let's add one more. So you can click on add images again. This time around, let's pick Blue Jay. Do the same. We'll add a tag. Blue Jay. Don't upload it. So now our model now has two tags, American Crow and Blue Jay, and it has data or information about those two tags. So now we can click on the train button, and you choose the first option, quick training. That will run really quickly. And what will happen now is it will look at the features on every picture there using a CNN, and then try to aggregate them into like a model. It trains a model that you can now use to predict what kind of image you're looking at. So once it's done, we're going to look at 3 parameters or metrics that are important, but I won't be able to go over them as fast as I can. But what we'll focus on is testing the model. So you see how the custom vision model is able to identify these pictures. So So we just need to wait a couple of minutes. Okay, you know what? Let's just go back to the slide and I can talk about this metrics real quick while it is doing that. So let's talk about them. So yeah, model performance metric. So there's three of them. We'll see it after it is done. So there's precision, right? There's recall and there's average precision. So if a model predicts a tag, the precision score indicates how likely it is that, given the data I have given it, because what it first does is it trains itself with the data, and then it will now test itself with the data. So randomly to pick a picture, so it has all this information, and to pick a picture and it will now say, hey, am I looking at American crow or blue jay? So it will make a prediction on its own, and then to compare what the actual truth is, because it has the information, right? And then if it's wrong or if it's right, based on, it runs a couple of tests, and based on like how well or how right it makes those predictions, it gives itself a score. So you now know if your score is like high, like 90%, 100%, that's good, right? Because it is training and testing itself using the same data sets, right? And you definitely expect, it's like you're giving it expo. You get exactly, you've given it the answer already. So you're supposed to get really high scores. If you're getting like 50, then you know your model is bad. So that's what precision tells you. Let me check if it is done. It's not done yet. So we can talk about recall. So it much like precision, it tells you the percentage of tags that it predicted correctly, right? So you are also expecting high scores from here. 90, 100%, even 90 is somehow, because like how do I give you the whole book and you're still getting 90%? Do you get? Then there's average precision as well. So it measures the performance, by precision and recall at different thresholds. So what this means is that you can have what's it called, you can have different kinds of tests that it takes on itself, and then to tell you how it performs using those different threshold values. So you don't have that information here, but basically you need high scores on all three metrics, right? As you see now, yeah, it takes a couple of minutes to complete the training. So okay, while it is doing that, let's also talk about some common mistakes that you can make with while you are training a model. So for one, it's called overfitting the model. So what this means is that you provide too little information for the model. So for example, yeah, move on. For example, if you have, say you have a child, an infant, right? You like, or maybe a toddler. A toddler is able to tell the difference between its mom and some other woman, right? Right, it happens now. If you take a baby and you say, "Who's your mom?" The baby can tell, right? But say the mom is a twin and is now looking at two identical faces. How does it tell the difference? Because I haven't given it that information that, hey, there's something called twins in this world. Obviously, the baby is not smart enough to know that, but like, let's assume that we can give that information, right? So I haven't given you that information. Now it's just giving you the same answer. So what you see is that the baby will be switching from one hand to the other. 1 minute it is like, this is my mom. The next time you jump into the, so you get something like that with models if you don't provide adequate amount of data. So let's check if it's done. All right, it's done. So 100%. Now this is what you'd expect because it's testing itself using the exact same data. So now let's test it using data that we did not train it with. So we can go online and find pictures of American Crow, right? So let's download one of these pictures. All right, let's pick this one. Uh, let me put this here. Okay, so now we can do a quick test. So browse, you just click on quick test button, and then sorry, right. So you upload the picture, it rolls, and now you see the result comes back. You are seeing American Crow is 99.7% Blue Jay. So obviously there are some features in birds that are similar. They are both birds, so obviously picked some of that, but 99.97% is saying, hey, this is American Crow, because the data I have is saying this cannot be a Blue Jay bird. And we can test it the other way around. You can do that. But yeah, so this has been a fun session. I don't have much time left, so I'll hand over to Bumi. She'll be talking about how to deploy your models. So thank you guys for having me.
Okay, so I hope like we all followed, at least gained one or two things, right? Okay. So quickly I want to show you how to deploy this, right? Okay, so the first thing you want to do, you have a model, probably you've done a number of tests and then your model works fine. So first of all, you want to publish it. So you click on publish, choose your prediction resource, then you click on publish, right? So you make sure that your prediction resource is the same one you used to create like the custom vision resource, right? Okay, then so for this session, I'm going to be using REST API. So I don't know if anyone is familiar with REST API. Like, have you tried to use REST API before? Don't worry, it's all Python. So few things you need to note. Okay. So these things here are important to us. You need your image URL. So image URL is like easier to upload. You're going to take your prediction key, content type, and then these are like very, very important to us.
What link? The GitHub. Oh, I'm just opening that.
Okay, so I want everyone to go to this link here, right here on top. So here I added the codes for deployment because like I will just run through it quickly. Okay. So for this, right, to run this, there is a requirement.txt file here, and that file has three major libraries. So let me explain. So I will start with Streamlit. So Streamlit is a free and open source tool. Like, you can use it to build beautiful websites for machine learning solutions. Like, it's very, very easy to use, like way easy. And here is request. So Python request is what we're using to send and receive requests over the API. And .env. So .env, because it's not a good idea for you to store your keys in your code, right? So you're going to be storing it in a separate file. But I want my Python app to be able to recognize that, oh, there's a separate file that contains my keys, right? So that's what the .env environment is for. Great. So to run this, you need to first of all pip install. You install the requirement. Then I believe you've done all this. You've trained, you've launched the studio, you've published it. I showed you how to publish it. So now the next thing you want to do is to select your prediction URL, which I showed earlier here, right? So this set here is important to us, and let me explain how. Okay, so I need the prediction key and the endpoint, which is here. So this is the prediction key, and this is the endpoint. So this is the URL, right? So I need the prediction key, I need the endpoint, and I also need to create the header. So now you're going to go back to the performance tab and copy the iteration number. So the iteration number is this. So this is iteration 1, right? So it could happen that you train your model multiple times. So each will be given like their own iteration numbers. So you get your iteration number, then you go to settings. So here is your settings. I need to copy my project ID here, right? Then I have all this. Now I need to go to my .m file. I already uploaded like a demo key wherever. Yes, so I shouldn't be sharing this outside, but so yeah, in the .m file, I have like endpoints, keys, and everything stated there. So if you go to that link, you would see it. Okay, so you should copy and paste each of that into your into that .m file exactly in that format. So after doing that, I would now go to my I'll create a new file .py file, right? Open Visual Studio. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio. So I import my necessary packages, request .env, streamlit, and PIL. So I want to display my image. So I want to open and display it. So I load .env. So .env means that, oh, I have a .env file here, right, which I already defined to you before to contain all this. Then I want to design the interface of my app. So you have Bird. So I'm calling it Birdie, and I'm saying, hey, Birdie is a web app that recognizes your favorite bird and names. So st.write means create an header for my app, right? And then here I'm loading it, and so here is where I'm going to use all my keys. So I create my URL, then create the header. So here I have like sample images that you might want to use. Then I create a sidebar, columns, and all. But this is how the app looks like. So I open my terminal and I go to the project directory and I click on Streamlit run app.py because that's the name of my file. Okay. So it's going to open on my local host, and yeah, this is what you're going to see. So I already have added like a demo URL that you can upload an image. Like you can just come here and then probably add a new image, and then it's going to like do this. So when you click on upload, it would create like it is going to send your details to the API and then give you back your results. And that is how you deploy your custom vision using REST API. Thank you.
Okay, she has a question.
Okay, can anyone access? So if can someone else access this house?
Okay, so since it's on your local host, no one. But if you're going to let it be public, you have to use what is called Streamlit Cloud. So Streamlit Cloud is like you don't have to like go to a separate environment. You just publish it, but for that you have to like have a Streamlit account and then just push it to Streamlit Cloud. So with Streamlit Cloud, like it's open and public to everyone.
Hi. Sorry that
Yeah.
Can you tell me like the level that you got?
Okay, so it's like I haven't set the configuration yet, so yeah.
You built your resume.
But for you, like I already created a .m file, so just like fill and update the details. Yes, and then it will be run. Okay, I think it's really easy. All you just need to do is the documentation is like very easy for you. To just go to the documentation, and then they're like simple syntax: streamlit.write, streamlit.markdown. It also supports markdown, so yeah, I think that's it.
Right, so there are no more questions.
Okay, so thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're supposed to ask one question and someone will pick a winner. Yeah, we're supposed to give them something. The lady that was here, just asking me random question. All right, so thank you guys a lot. We're supposed to ask one question, so there's going to be a prize for one person. Here, so it's just going to be like a what's it called? A review of everything you've learned from this session so far. So I just got to know that, so I'm going to ask something really random, but it's within the confines of everything we've learned today. So we said at the beginning that there's a difference between AI and machine learning. If that's the only thing that you were able to take away from this, can someone help in explaining or shedding light on like what the difference between AI and machine learning is? How do I pick now?
Pick someone that hasn't answered before.
Someone that hasn't answered before. With someone that hasn't asked the question before. Or answer. Someone that hasn't spoken since. Okay. You've spoken like twice already.
I think that's right. Let's come back and do
You've spoken already.
slow down. I didn't want to answer.
Okay, so people are raising their hands. Okay. No, did you not speak just now?
The guy at the back.
Yeah. So someone that hasn't said anything. If it don't worry, if it doesn't get it, then someone else can.
Hello, my name is
Hi.
Isope Oasi from Valtech, Alligator Investor Technology. Well, I've been said before that AI is a profit that operates some field like machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, and the likes. Well, AI is just is a way of how computer can mimic human being and do some tasks that were made for a human being to perform. While machine learning is just a subset of artificial intelligence, whereby we'll get a data to use to train a computer to learn from those data and derive insight from it and make decisions based on those data.
Right, a round of applause for thank you very much. Was okay, yeah, I think you need to give out your name and to hook you up with your prize. Just a bonus question. What's Microsoft offering for computer vision? The one we did today. Okay, the guy in the glass is there.
My name is Tega from Yaba College of Technology.
Right.
So I guess that should be custom vision.
Thank you. So this brings us to the end of the session. That's all from me. If you want to say something.
Yeah, thank you all for listening.
So, did we enjoy that session? Did we or did we not? Did we? How many people followed along with what was going on here? Okay. But remember, this is recorded live, so of course,
Why was it so short?
we will discuss for this very soon. I remember, like,
What?
you don't need Android students for this. You like Samsung stuff and very, very. I want to what are
Hey, what's up? Fine.
If it is red, to give the outlook, the car should stop. So you get, if it is green, you can move. The pedestrian section, you can detect. Same thing as the Mercedes Benz are using, Tesla is using, and this Microsoft also to develop something like that.
Very good. And I'm very sure things like that already in works by different organizations and companies. Yeah.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yochiko Wakise from Lagos. Yes, so I was very thrilled by the session. I couldn't follow very well, but I had a very clear idea about what custom vision can do. So a use case that comes to mind is training your computer to recognize the students in the class, then using custom vision for automatic attendance system. You can connect to database and can do things like that with it. So
One other use case of contribution is to check like fake notes and real notes. With this change of policy that the government made, they had to put that printing fake notes, the guys are printing notes together. It's a very good use case for this one, just like text fake notes from real notes.
Very good. So thank you guys. I think are we done with the presentations? Okay, so I think we're done with our breakout sessions. Done? Okay. One second. For the
So I wanted to ask if it was possible to retrieve data from
your badge.
I'm here, if Yusuf, an amazing, Ivy, Salim. I'm just trying to recall these names. Amazing set of guys. Thank you, everyone. John, thank you each and everyone for for the support that you guys have put towards this event. I want us to resound this together. Techies Meetup, you can say kickstart and accelerate your career in tech. Sort of a slang to just create that excitement as we do this session. So when I say Techies Meetup, kickstart and accelerate your career in tech, is that too long? But if you look at the value, I think it's worth it. Okay, let's do this together. Techies Meetup. For those online, join us. Techies Meetup.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
This is the phone. aka.ms.
Don't worry, I'm sharing it.
We're sharing it already.
Yeah. Okay. Just tell him to share my screen.
Just tell him share your screen. This I'm not sure, but it's true. I did not know.